Don't you look lovely? Super, thank you, John. That's Rich got 2 thumbs for nice blowjobs. Wow. Suck on this! Came outside to watch the night fall with the rain. I heard you making patterns right. New romantic looking on the TV sound. Switch it up. See, I'm right from another time. Look now, look all around. Says another sound. Can you hear me now? This is planet Earth. You're looking at planet Earth. Stuck on something precious, let me know if you're coming down to land. Is there anybody out there trying to get through? Eyes so cloudy I can't see. Look now, look all around. Ain't no sign of life, voices, another sound. Can you hear me now? This is planet Earth. You're looking at planet Earth. Ba 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 ba. This is planet Earth. Ba 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 ba. This is planet Earth. Oh, this is planet Earth. Yeah, this is planet Earth. Oh, this is planet Earth. It's the light on planet Earth. Any light on planet Earth. It's a life on planet Earth. Look now, look all around. Ain't no sign of life. Voices, another sound. Can you hear me now? This is planet Earth. You're looking at planet Earth. Ba 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 ba. This is planet Earth. Ba 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 ba. Looking at planet Earth. Ba 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 ba. Calling planet Earth. Ba 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 ba. This is.
What is the best thing of being Duran Duran? Well, I think having these songs, having when we put a when we go out on tour and we put a show together, we've got like, we've been making records for 12, 14 years now, and we've got all these songs that feel really good to play and perform.
Really proud about it, of course.
Well, they're just. It, I mean, obviously, you work to make today really important, and always our new album is really important to us. But then there's something about taking it, to going out on tour, and then you can play these songs, songs like The Chauffeur, Say for Prayer, songs that you can just dig out, and it's really good to have them there.
Which is the best talent you have, the one that allowed you to be now the Duran Duran?
The best talent. Hmm. I I don't know, just the ability to stay to stay fresh, um, and keep up our energy. Keep up our. I think a lot of bands and a lot of kind of lose interest, and they want to go off and do other things, and they just get uninspired. And to maintain an interest, you've just got to keep your energy up.
In Ordinary World, your new single from this album, you talk about the vulgarity and banality of the contemporary world. Why did you choose these themes?
Well, I think it has a fairly ambiguous message. Um, I think there's something about the song that touches people. Um, for me, it's about wanting to find simple answers to complicated questions. Um, a little bit like when you get into your 30s, you kind of wish that life was as simple as when you were a child.
Always in this album there's a song, Breath After Breath, that sees your cooperation with Milton Nascimento. How has it been to work with such a different musician?
Yeah, he's a great man, and Warren was a big fan of his, and he was playing. He'd gone to Montreux to play with Milton in the jazz festival, and he came back talking about the idea that he would like to write together with Milton, and we just said, well, why don't we do it now? Why don't we do it on this record?
Did you work on studio together?
Yeah.
You're supposed to start with a new tour quite soon. Can you tell us something about it?
Yeah, we're going to, in April, we're going to the Middle East and South Africa and South America. And
why is such a Middle East and
well, the Middle East, because the Middle East don't get many concerts, and we were asked to go, and it's like 3 days, so we're going to do that. South Africa, we were supposed to go to a year ago, and that'll be interesting. It's a hard country. And then we're going to be touring Europe and America in the summer.
for how long are you going to be on tour?
Don't know. Depends how many records we're selling.
to the ground. I'm on the hunt, I'm after you. Singing the sound, I'm lost and I'm found, and I'm hungry like Down in the city, that is who I am. Seen in the subway, the earth is a fire. When you want me, give me a sign. Catch me breathing even closer behind. Touch the ground. I'm on the hunt. I'm after you. Singing the sound. I'm lost and I'm found, and I'm hungry like the Turn away, just a high. Only if funny by the moonlight side. My blood is drumming on your skin, it's so tight. You feel the heat on my body, closer behind. Ba 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 da 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 la 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 la. It touches the ground. I'm on the hunt, I'm after you. Chasing the sound, I'm lost and I'm found, and I'm hungry like the wolf. Strut on the line, it's just got a rhyme. I'm on the wine, I'm after you. Now there's a light, just like wine, and I'm hungry like the wolf.
So, looks like Duran Duran are back again.
Well, I hope so, yeah.
I mean, can you tell us something about this album?
Yeah. It took us about a year and a half to actually put it all together, which is a long time for us, but we were very meticulous. We wrote a lot of songs. It was all done, written and recorded in Warren's living room. We decided we didn't want to go into a big studio. We wanted to have the freedom and the luxury of time to actually craft the songs and make something really special this time. And it worked incredibly well for us. It was so relaxed. I mean, you know, when Simon was doing the vocal on Ordinary World, he was, you know, I was sitting on the sofa here and he was standing where you are in front of the microphone. The desk was just there. And we all had to keep quiet, you know. I mean, if you got hiccups, it's a real problem. So.
That sounds like a brand new experience, a studio experience. I mean.
Yeah, I mean, I think, you know, I like recording studios, but it can be a bit sterile when you've got, you know, sheets of glass in front of people and you have to speak through intercoms and, you know, I can't bear plastic plants, which studios are generally full of.
And I believe it's also more cheap. I mean, it's cheapest, you know, to play.
Yeah, it's much more financially viable, as they say.
You can take more time, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I dread to think what it would have cost if we'd done it all in the studio. And I think in these days, it also feels much more modern, you know. It's a good approach to things. I think studios are very wasteful because, you know, firstly, you have to work a sensible amount of hours to make it pay. And it's astronomical rates. I mean, it's so great as well for us because we learned a lot more about the technology, you know, and you know, having to operate all these things ourselves. We're very self-contained, and that's kind of a great feeling to have that you can do because we produced it ourselves as well, which was something else very important with this record because we started off feeling that we were going to take on a producer, we just do our demos, and then we realized that, in fact, our demos were the beginnings of the master recordings for the album, and we really didn't need any more.
First thing we're gonna play for you is a love song for a very cool world. It's a song for people who believed. Tonight it's our song for you. May breath and skin, I've been waiting for a sign with a tattoo. I've been waiting to you. It's created for it'll take a little time, might take a little pride to come on from a real child to stay blind to the fear outside. Hey child, stay wilder than the wind blowing into pride. Who do you need? Who do you love? Where you come undone? Who do you need? Who do you love? Where you come undone? Choose a deja vu at the radio tune. I swear I've heard choose. Is it something real? Are the magic I'm feeling off your lost in a snow-filled sky? We'll make
So what are your projects?
Well, we put a show together to promote the album, because it's really a drag sometimes when bands have to do just promotion and then go back and put a show together. So what happened was, it was kind of a fluke, but our manager, Louis Kovac, kind of promised KROQ, radio station here in Los Angeles, that we would play this acoustic Christmas benefit show in December. So he calls me up and says, Warren, it's really important that you guys do this show, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, Louis, we're supposed to be going to Australia next week to make a video. You know, how the hell are we going to do it? He goes, well, you'll have 8 days now, and you'll have 4 days when you get back, and you know, you could do those last 4 days in LA, you rehearse the 8 days in London. I said, yeah, but you know, it's like, how long do we have to play? He said, well, you have to play at least 40 minutes because they want you to headline. This is a show with like David Byrne, Seal, EMF, all these other bands playing, you know, just David Byrne with the acoustic guitar, and, you know. So I said, okay, Louis, if you're serious, man, as soon as I hang up this phone, I'm going to start working on it. He said, I'm serious. I hung up the phone, I went down to the living room and just started rewriting and visualizing in my head what, because Nick had suggested that we use a string section, so we had 2 violinists and a cello player, a percussionist, John on acoustic bass, me on acoustic guitar, Simon, and a backing singer. And I was picturing, and Nick was going to play his keyboards. I was picturing what we can do in an ensemble like that would make the old songs work, and which new songs would lend themselves best to that format. And I nailed it, man. In 3 days, I had written all these arrangements for the strings, for the guitar. Mainly, it was written on the guitar, and I was singing the string parts. I knew what I wanted the strings to do. And in 12 days rehearsal with the whole band, we did the shows in Los Angeles, and it was 70 minutes of music. It wasn't 40. So I kind of, I did it a little bit more than I thought. Some of the songs, like Hungry Like the Wolf, is like an epic. It's got 3 tempo changes in it. The chauffeur starts out with this kind of Philip Glass kind of violin stuff with a very kind of esoteric ambient
Are you actually
keyboards.
giving the band, Duran Duran band, a new direction, a different direction, music direction?
Yeah, I think since the band was, as a writing team, was guitarless for 2.5 years, I think once I started writing songs with them, and you have a guitar player's influence in the music, it's gonna change it immensely, especially if it's someone like me who uses atmospheres of guitar, not just standard, you know, kind of power chord kind of things, or typical kind of guitar riff things. I'm always looking for a twist on something. And you know, a lot of times when I just play something with my huge rack, it has so much melody in it and groove in it. If I'm doing something with delays or with harmonizers, you know, it lends itself to a composition very easily. And a lot of times people go, oh yeah, let's do that, you know. Now, with the acoustic kind of thing, and there's a lot of acoustic guitar on this album, and with this acoustic show we're doing, I think I'm bringing out a side of this band that they didn't even know that they had, you know. There's no tapes, there's no sequences, there's nothing. We're all playing everything live. There's nothing keeping time. It's just the drummer, me, the bass player, keeping time. It's very different, and we're having the best time doing it. It's so much fun playing music like this. It's almost like if we walked into a club and there was a band playing and they went, oh, Duran Duran's here, come on, boys, and play us a song. We would do it. It's not like, oh, I need my rack, and oh, Nick, oh, I don't, well, we don't have the backing tapes for this, and you know.
Turned on the lights, the TV, and the radio. Still I can't escape the ghost of you. What has happened to it all? Crazy summer thing. Where is the light that I recognize? But I won't cry for yesterday. There's an ordinary world. Somehow I have to find.
Looks like I used things to militants, guys. Just in case you've forgotten, this was supposed to be an acoustic performance. The score, the compulsory score, Next year it's a rocking chair. It's a hot Sunday afternoon, just around 2 o'clock. And out on Santa Monica, the traffic's backed up all the way from La Brea to Highland. A young man sits in his car on his way to make a pickup. He looks out over the Hollywood Hills and he sees the clouds building. There's gonna be some big story today. Man, not a minute too soon. And he starts to feel good, comfortable in the way he's sweating. Puts on the parking brake. He closes his eyes and he starts to dream. Goes like this. The clouds are moving, all looking for a new place to drive. You sit beside me, so newly charming. Sweating dewdrops glisten fresh in your side. The sun drips down, bedding heavy behind. The front of your dress all shadowy light. The droning engine throbs in time with your beating heart. Way down the lane away, living for another day. The aphids climb up in the drifting haze. Swim seagull in the sky towards that hollow western isle. My envied lady holds you fast in her gaze. And the sun drips down, bedding heavy behind. And the front of your dress all shadowy light. The droning engine throbs in time with your beating heart. And the sun drips down, bedding heavy behind. The front of your dress all shadowy light. The droning engine throbs in time with your beating heart. dress all shuttered down. The droning engine throbs in time with your beating heart. And the sun drifts down, bedding heavy behind. The front of your dress all shadowy now. The droning engine throbs in time with your beating heart.
Paul McCartney presented his new album, Off the Ground. It was just like, he was explaining the way he taped the album, they record the album. He was saying that he feel like he remembered the best time he was spending in studio. It was in the, in the middle of the Beatles, where him and John used to go in the studio, and actually make demos inside the studio of the songs, just with the, the piano or with the acoustic guitar, and use that demo to build up all the songs.
Yeah.
Not like they used to do now, that when go to the studio, you start with this, with the drum kit, you do the sounds, different kind of things, He was mentioning that way of playing, to create an album is not real.
Yeah.
So it looks like, it's more like, enjoying playing it,
Exactly. We just want to continue doing this acoustic sort of, well, it's not totally acoustic. Nick's playing some keyboards, but he's playing natural sounding instruments. He's playing violins and voices and stuff. We just want to continue doing this because the feedback we're getting from like the 4 shows we've done, it's incredible. I mean, the reviews are great. We come off like a rock and roll band. We don't come off like a bunch of guys sitting around playing acoustic guitars with a little tiny microphone sitting on a stool. We're projecting, we're having a great time, we're running around, but we're playing it on I play this guitar, there's no tricks, it's just a plain old guitar with very heavy strings, no effects, nothing, it's just pure, and it really works. The songs come across for what they are. The melodies are very evident, they're very melodic, the grooves are great, the chord changes are there to be, heavily scrutinized now. There's nothing is hiding in a wash of reverb or string pads. It's all there. We have 3 violinists and 2 violinists and a cello player playing parts. Everything is, it's like a little orchestra, 9-piece band.
today, forgot tomorrow.